Hello everyone and welcome to Metroid Dread, the latest entry in the Metroid series, and the final game I will be playing for you two, for reasons that I'll probably get into throughout the playthrough. I don't really like talking about myself too much, but I know the channel's been going on for a while now, so I have to justify that somehow. But as you can see, I've played this game a lot. I like it a whole lot. Dread is a fantastic game, so if I was going to end the channel, I thought I may as well end it the way I began, with the 2D Metroid series, a series that is very near and dear to my heart. Gonna play on normal right here. I did play on hard mode in order to unlock all the extra endings and things like that. Well, not endings, but more just artwork. But boy, they've added a rookie mode and a dread mode. Rookie mode probably should have been there at the beginning for all the new people that played the game. And dread mode, where a hit results in a game over. Yeah, no thanks, the game is hard enough. Metroid. A virulent floating organism that drained energy from its prey through physical contact. Metroids were originally created by the Chozo, and named after their word for ultimate warrior. Their value as a bioweapon sparked several crises, and as a result, all traces of them have been eliminated. They are now extinct. X-Parasite, a gelatinous parasitic organism indigenous to the planet SR-388. It could absorb the DNA of its host, living or dead, and replicate its form. While infecting a living host, it could even access the host's memories. X-Parasites were driven not by emotion, but by an instinctive need to replicate and spread to increasingly stronger hosts. Their inability to be controlled marked them as even more dangerous than their sole predator, the Metroids. Like the Metroids, they are believed extinct. With no Metroid surviving on SR-388, it became infested with the X, horrifying parasites capable of imitating any living being. Unaware of this, I set foot on the planet, got infected, and almost died. The only thing that saved me was a vaccine created from Metroid DNA, which also left me uniquely able to oppose the X. This ability was tested immediately when I went to a Biologic Space Laboratories, BSL, research station to investigate a distress signal. There, I battled many powerful X forms, including the SA-X, which was the X mimicking me in my power suit at full strength. I eventually eliminated the X menace on SR-388 by setting the BSL research station on a collision course with the planet. After that, the X and Metroids were just memories, or so we thought. Just when it all seemed over, the Galactic Federation received a mysterious video transmission. It showed an X, alive, and in the wild. Thorough analysis proved the video was real. Although the sender was unknown, the transmission was traced to a particular planet. It was called ZDR. If the X had somehow escaped extinction out there, they would pose a threat to the entire galaxy. The Galactic Federation dispatched a research team of 7 EMI to investigate. An EMI is a large research robot designed to capture field samples and extract their DNA. Their incredible mobility and protective plating, made of the strongest stuff in the universe, practically guaranteed the mission's success. But not long after their arrival on ZDR, all communication was lost. What is happening on ZDR? Is the planet really infested with X? As the only one immune to the parasites, it's up to me to go there and find out.
soon be entering ZGR's atmosphere.
The bounty for this mission does not seem appropriate. The risk clearly outweighs the reward. Treat our lost assets with care, lady.
Entering the atmosphere in T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
That elevator leads to the depths of an underground facility. Signal quality is likely to be low. Remote communication remains using people. Try to connect to the facility's network when you reach the bottom. That way, you can remain in contact. Any objections, lady?
Oh, guess we aren't using that elevator again, huh? Metroid games and broken elevators, name a more iconic duo. But man, what an opening cutscene! Of course, this is the latest entry in the series, not just from a release perspective, but also a timeline perspective. In a way, you could say this is Samus' final adventure, which is why I suppose it is kind of my final adventure as well. It just kind of seems fitting, but right off the bat, oh man, does this game feel pretty fantastic to play. It is the best controlling 2D Metroid in the entire series, and this is coming from a massive Zero Mission fan, so, you know, if I'm saying it, that it beats out Zero Mission, it's probably true, but yeah, we got this snazzy new suit right here, the Dread suit, pretty big fan. As you can see, it's very similar to the Fusion suit, with the blue undertones, fitting, since I guess it is kind of X-infused, after the events of Fusion.
Uploading data.
So, you've accessed a network station. Well done, Samus. I have reviewed your vital signs and video log from the data you uploaded. I've run a full analysis, but I cannot account for why you lost consciousness. My readings indicate dramatic physical changes in you. Whatever caused these changes seems to have stripped you of most abilities. You might call it physical amnesia. That brings me to your assailant. I am checking the Federation database against your video log. It appears to have been a Chozo. The attacker's identity is not yet clear. somewhere within the depths of ZDR. Your top priority should be to return to your ship on the surface. This situation is precarious. Trust your instincts as you navigate upward. This planet appears to consist of multiple areas. Shuttles, elevators, and other modes of transport connect them. Keep an eye out for ways to reach the surface. The ship's location is marked on your global map. Check it for yourself. You may encounter pockets of low temperature. Your Metroid DNA renders you vulnerable to such environments. Spending time in cold areas will be harmful to you. There are many such cold areas scattered underground. Do not enter them with your basic power suit. One final thing. Underground interference is preventing radio transmissions. Check in with me at any network stations you find.
So we're going to have the data stations again. Network stations, whatever you want to call them. Yep, another holdover from Fusion and Other M. There's a lot of Fusion and Other M DNA in Dread right here, with several instances that I'm going to point out for sure, but I think it's an amalgamation of everything that was really awesome about Metroid up to this point, that they just kind of added together in one grand combination. Like the melee counter! Yeah, earlier this year I played Samus Returns, which was the remake of Metroid 2, which had the melee counter, and it was alright in that game. You know, it was a little awkward to use for sure. But it comes back in Dread, since Dread was made by the same people that made Samus Returns, and wow, what an improvement for them, I gotta say. But in this game, it's far more useful. Not only can you actually use it while you're moving, which can take out much weaker enemies, but it's also just more intuitive to use in general and just feels a lot better to use. So there are a lot of elements from pretty much every Metroid game, I think, that made their way into Dread, and like I said, just a pretty great combination of everything together. Including, like, the plot as well. I think this is kind of like a nice conclusion to what the 2D story was bringing to us up to this point. And I say that because, man, what an entrance as far as, like, plot was concerned with the game. I don't think we've ever seen Samus get manhandled like that before. Jeez. I mean, she did lose technically at the beginning of Echoes, I suppose. Metroid Prime 2. But I'm having a hard time just thinking whenever Samus just got dominated like that. And speaking of dominating... Here it comes. So, these guys, if they ever catch you, you're probably gonna die. But if you press the counter button at the exact moment, you can stun it and get away. Not very reliable, though, as the game is definitely going to tell us, and it only temporarily stuns them. Ugh, these guys are terrifying. I love them, though. They can be frustrating at times, and we'll get to that, but in general, these are a fantastic addition to the game. Oh, this one looks like it's pretty beaten up. Like, you're not in the best of shape, huh? Can't even climb a wall. Oh, see ya. Ain't nobody got time for that. It's an older meme, but it checks out. But what do we have here? Is that a brain? With one eye? And here we are, the Omega Cannon. This is just a temporary power-up, though. Because whenever we get this, from whatever that was right there, we get access to the Omega Beam, and this is the only way you can kill the enemies, as I'm about to demonstrate. Because he's going to come out right here, and normally there's no way to beat these guys, but you gotta charge up the Omega Beam, aim right at the eye, and presto. See you in hell, buddy. Oh, it's so cathartic when you do that. Although, again, that was kind of easy mode. This guy was got on one leg and one arm. And with that, we lose the Omega Cannon. One use only. Okay, well, that was interesting. At least we took out one of those things. How many were dispatched? How many did Adam tell us? I forget. Oh yeah, also returning from Samus Returns are those one-way doors. Well, they're not permanently one-way. They're just one way to begin with, so you have to get to the other side in order to open them up. And this, I believe, is just a regular save station, right? Yeah. So the save station is not necessarily bundled with the navigation stations in this game. However, the navigation stations and the map stations also act as save stations. That was pretty redundant. I'm not going to say station anymore, so you know it all works out pretty well. Which is good, because, of course, I've already mentioned that this game borrows a lot from the Metroid series as a whole, but especially Samus Returns, because, you know, same developer and all that, including the difficulty. And the bosses. But we'll get to that, we'll get to that. And here we go. One of the major features of Metroid Dread. And one that I generally do like. Oh yeah, this area is called Artaria, by the way. I realize I haven't looked at the map just yet. Let's take a look at the global map right quick, because you can see our ship there. Yeah, I almost said shop. This isn't one of those games where the ship is a shop. But you can see our ship right there at the very top, so an interesting inversion of Metroid 2, and by extension Samus Returns. We're actually going up through the planet instead of down through the planet, because in Samus Returns we were going down because, you know, we had to kill all the Metroids at the core, and the Queen Metroid down there. But in Metroid Dread, we're trying to escape. We are on the defensive. Complete opposite of Samus Returns. And there's another one. And this one looks fully functional. And this is where things get terrifying. Yeah, these things are pretty scary, because it is a one-hit kill. If these guys get a hold of you, they will kill you. And in these areas right here, they will hunt you down relentlessly. It's an evolution of what the SAX was back in Metroid Fusion. And the AI on these guys is a lot better, so you really have to watch out. And they are relentless. Like, they'll chase you throughout the entirety of the area. Thankfully, they can't chase you outside of the area, which was kind of relieving for me when I found that out. And it looks like this one can't crawl under the passages, because its little head right there, its headpiece is a little too wide. But yeah, they'll stalk you. It's not like the SAX where it's just like a planned segment here and a planned segment there. No, if you're in one of those Emmy zones, they'll chase you down no matter what. You can't get through that door. It looks like motion kind of triggers it to shut, so whatever. But yeah, I was nervous whenever they announced the Emmy as a core focal point of... Oh yeah, by the way, missile tanks only give you 2. Which is a decrease, right? Because in the old games they would give you 5. I think in other Emmy it was only 3. And now they only give you 2. Well, more missile tanks to collect, I suppose. But yeah, I'll get to the Emmys in a second. Once Adam said his piece again.
Both Emmy you encountered were clearly trying to capture you. They may have been hacked. If so, it's reasonable to assume all Emmy will be hostile. Emmy send out a pulse to detect vibrations in the air within a certain range. Essentially, they can hear you. Upon detecting vibrations, an Emmy enters surveillance mode to track their source. Stay out of its line of sight when this happens. Otherwise, the danger to you increases dramatically. An Emmy that has seen you will begin pursuit. Part of the pursuit protocol is to seal the Emmy zone exits. You will be trapped inside. To survive, you must leave its range of pursuit. Evade the Emmy and it will disengage. This will also unseal the exits. An Emmy never leaves its assigned zone. Their control system must permit them to operate only within that range. I estimate a 99% probability of death if an Emmy captures you. There may be a very small opportunity to escape, but exploiting this window will be virtually impossible. The Emmy are immune to your current weapons. You lack the unique energy used to defeat the first Emmy. Your only option now is to evade capture and find an exit. Your highest priority in an Emmy zone should be simply to survive.
Boy, that's a lot of pressure, don't you think? Highest priority is just to survive? Yeah, when they were showing this game off for the first time last year, being 2021 as of this recording, I was a little nervous because I thought, man, the stress of having like an SAX type of creature hunting you down just non-stop, that doesn't sound like that would make for a very fun game. Because I like to take my time and explore a lot in 2D Metroids, but no, they're only in those zones. And you know what we don't have right now? Yeah, well, not a morph ball. You know, I completely glazed over it because I guess maybe I was a little busy at the time. But yeah, Adam said you have like physical amnesia or something, and that's why you don't. That's why you don't have any of your power-ups. Haha, that's a good one. Physical amnesia. Never heard that one before. I just hand wave it away, like I've been saying for literally years at this point. No one cares how you lose your powers. You don't even really need to explain it. If it's gonna be physical amnesia, so be it, man. I'll take physical amnesia over a stupid excuse any other day. And there you go, I expertly used the melee counter in order to hide my own incompetence by being hit by an Emmy, or being captured by an Emmy. Didn't know if I was actually going to make that work, but... yeah, we don't have the morph ball, so I can't actually climb up there and get into those passages, which is kind of strange, because I don't know, I'm just used to having the morph ball so early on in Metroid games, so it's really bizarre not having it. I feel like naked and afraid. because I don't have it, but interesting way to have an excuse of not having any of our power-ups here, if I say so myself, and I kind of prefer it, honestly. But yeah, if the enemy catches you, like Adam said, the timing for actually using the melee counter to get out of an enemy capture, I think it's variable. You're really not able to pull it off reliably, and I think it gets harder and harder as the game goes on, too, to do it with each and every enemy. So you have to be like me, or not be like me, and not be stupid. Wait, don't be like me, and don't be stupid. Yeah, that's what I'm going for. I haven't recorded in a while, guys. I guess I'm a little rusty.